All right, I am back faster than I thought I was because I cover the night shift as your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7. All the other meteorologists are getting a rest, and rightly so. I actually got 10 hours of sleep today. But I'll try to be here with you for the next 2 or 3 hours while everybody's waking up. This is a tenuous situation. And so we're going to try and stay positive. Good morning, Flippin'. How are you doing? We are watching the development that is in Gulf of Mexico and the development that is off East Carolina. Wait, that's not a thing. North Carolina. And if you are just tuning in, the storm has downgraded to a Category 2, but it has grown in size. Katya, if somehow you are awake and listening, I'm worried about the East Coast. What does this mean, man? Like, because the storm has doubled in size. What? Good morning, Doom Chaser. Well, you've come to the right place because we have Doom on board right now. Look how large and in charge Florence Kiss My Grits has grown. And I've never had good grits, by the way. Hash browns are way better. Yeah, it has almost doubled in size. And the east part of it and the north part of it here have grown. So I'm wondering how much storm surge and waves will this cause all up and down the East Coast? I would be concerned. Yep, that is what she said. That joke didn't go well because someone said, wow, that thing is big in the comments. And I just said, everybody should be concerned. It's early. And so, yeah, I think the North Carolina is still dealing with some flooding rates. Let's check on over to Twitter. This is by Jack Sillin, who is always chilling. Florence isn't quite as pretty on satellite imagery this morning, but that doesn't mean the storm is any less dangerous. Working on a blog explaining for weather.us as the primary resource today. Aiming for a periscope or two later in the day as well. That's small. Well, dude, I don't, we're allowed to disagree, but I would like to stay on target, and up until landfall, the hurricane is the target. You can say it's small, that's cool. We can disagree. That thing looks giant to me, and it's definitely bigger than it was when everybody went to bed. And so the storm surge is going to be a deal. And notice how she kind of stops and stands there for a bit. How is the Hellcat? How is it doing on the beaches? There's one thing that will help tell us. Oh, sorry, good. Where are we at here? Look at that. But see, live is going to allow me to make some bad jokes. They're going to make people mad. Oh, we are going to disagree. This thing is going to be a sucker punch of rain. Look at that. That thing is a monster. Where is... Dang it, I had a cool thing. And I lost my cool thing. There's one of them. Where did you go? Okay, here. This is but here's okay, let's talk about concerns number one. Concern number one is storm surge. So that will be depending on eye and wind speed. But look at the rain bands that are finally showing up on radar. That is going to be let's debate about the whole downgrading of systems. That they should have the Saffir-Simpson is really just a wind scale. They should have a danger scale, and the danger has increased in the last 5 hours for sure. Yeah, it looks solid, and look at those rain bands, man. Like, Remember, this is predicted to stall and hover for 4 days. So the rain bands that are showing up on the radar are about as intense as you can imagine. It's also warm waters, still completing its eye wall replacement phase. Yeah. And so, I don't know, I'm guessing what? We got 12 hours to landfall officially. So, this thing has maximum potential to do maximum damage. And now I am growing more concerned about the north quadrant of the cove. Excuse me. But, like, let's look at this thing. And right now, I think one thing that might be being undersold, I don't think anybody knows officially. We'll check in a second on landfall time, but I just want to show real quick how now that it seems to be pushing more water and waves towards this area. Is there a name for this place? The Cove, up into the New England area. Now, I don't know where she's going. I mean, I think anybody at this point, it's anybody's guess. But that rain band looks devastating. However, it's going to sit over. And then the thing in the Gulf is now pulsing up. So this is definitely an interesting weather day. Yeah, look at it. It's on its down pulse. And if you've been following THORNEWS, it seems like the weather pulses up and down. And so I think that storm is going to pulse up again before it hits Texas. And Texas has had a lot of rain in the south. So everybody mark down September 13th is one of the most interesting days in weather history. I think at this point, getting hung up on whether it's a depression, a tropical storm, a hurricane, Cat 4, Cat 5, I don't know, those systems all seem outdated because they downgraded Hurricane Florence. And does she look any less dangerous to you? Before, it seemed like we were talking about the majority of the danger being in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. Now it looks like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York and Long Island will be more in play. Yeah, like let's go back to, there's the one thing, like this is just giving us an idea of the rain bands that are starting to show up on the radar. And so imagine that thing training over, let's go to the, crap. Bear with me for a moment. Let's use windy. Okay, so let's go to rain. And so the rain bands actually look bigger now than the GFS, and this is the Euro, had predicted. And so, I mean, this is saying, now let's watch the rain bands go in. And so this is Thursday. All right. So the big question I'm wondering too, the Euro has actual landfall, and that counts as when the eye wall crosses the land. But you're going to get effects before that, for sure. And so the eye wall doesn't technically cross by the Euro till like Friday. I'm very concerned about the two steering high pressures. They're nearly equal in strength and size when it makes landfall on GFS in Europe. Katrina was a Cat 3, man. Thor, someone needs to make you a hammer. I actually have a hammer, and the hammer that I have is from a guy who invented something called a pressure equalizer for the major oil industries. So what it does is right now the cap on pressure is like anywhere between 10 and 14,000, like if you're drilling in the ocean. Anyway, he created an equalizer so you can actually scale up the pressure you handle to like 100,000 and be just as safe as if it were like 10 psi. But that invention is locked in litigation. And so, but the guy is one of the greatest inventors in the world, and he created one of the biggest inventions since the diamond head well driller tip. Whoa, dude, when did this rainfall get so crazy? And so I got the hammer from him, and it's an amazing hammer. It is amazing. So yeah, I do have a hammer, but I don't hit people with it. Because killing people is not my thing. Although I have hurt people's feelings tonight, because tonight we're staying on point with this storm, since it's going to be a major catastrophe and damage doer. But look how it now has. This storm is just wild. And I don't, one thing that has surprised meteorologists about this is it hasn't followed analogs of climatology. And so I don't know. I'm not judging this year's storms with any storms that have hit before. I mean, we've seen 50 inches of rain 3 times in almost a year. But look at this. This is, okay, so if it hits Thursday, this is like the East Coast Hurricane Harvey, because it's just going to sit and spin all day and through a few days. And so even if people don't get hit in the initial landfall, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, I know Pennsylvania doesn't need any more rain. Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. So then Florence, actually, this has Florence going all the way up through Pennsylvania, through New York, Massachusetts. And this is the area I've been talking about. I've been like a broken record. I've been saying this area got hit by 4 nor'easters in winter. And so I'm pretty sure during hurricane season, Mother Nature's going to hit you a couple times. And well, it looks like I'm correct. And so this isn't even before they were saying, and I don't know what it's going to do. And at this point, I don't want to give anyone the impression of what it's going to do other than a lot of damage. And everyone needs to be paying attention to it. Because if you're just now tuning in and have just woken up, yeah, the dams and rivers are in really, really bad shape. If you're just now woken up, this storm has kind of grown in size, although it has been downgraded to a category 2. But the eye wall still has at least 10 to 20 hours over hot waters. So, is that a double? What do they call that? A double eye wall, where it looks like it's got the 2 points inside of it? And I want you guys to know that I adapt and I improve my skills. Whoa, thank you, but no, thank you. Oh, I love you too, Petra. Too much. Sometimes you make me jealous. Yeah, if I did have a weakness, I do. A, it's women, and B, with women, it's jealousy. Because they say your jealousy is kind of based on your ego. If you have a giant ego, which at times I do, but it's my shield, then sometimes you can be jealous as a man with your woman. And so, I love you too, Petra. Thank you. I'm always saying what I'm trying to, one thing is I play a dumbass sometimes because some of the stuff I says make a lot of powerful men mad. So I always try to pretend like I'm a harmless idiot. That way nobody gets really mad at me. I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get duct taped upside down in a chair as Doberman pinchers will rip my face off. I don't want them to cut my fingers off one at a time, cut off my arms, my legs, and then have a bunch of prisoners hump me for weeks. You got to realize what we're dealing with here. You people may think I'm just some YouTuber, but hell no, man. I'm like James Bond that isn't secret. So I'm trying to work out a truce amongst all people. There are a lot of people who are like, hell no, we want the old system to continue. We do not like or we do not want change. I'm like, well, hey, brother, guess what? It's going to change whether you like it or not. That's what I've been saying at THORNEWS. And hey, look, I'm right. Again. I love you guys. But this thing is a monster. I don't. Oh, dude, look, it's got the dragon head. Oh my god, dragon head sounds so good right now. Whoa, that doesn't though. But yeah, that's why I say that I think we need to rename some of these systems because the old terms don't seem to fit properly. Change is the only constant. Yeah, I'm tough, but I'd like to be, I don't want to. I'd like to go back to being funny. Man, I miss being funny all the time. And I need to work on my cardio. Okay, let's get back to our main points. If you're just joining us, Florence has doubled in size. It's huge. And so I now think more of New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Long Island, Hamptons, they're in play with higher storm surge and wave heights. And I don't know, she's like a monster. And I think if you watch enough monster movies, in a good monster movie, 21 Pilots, I too love 21 Pilots. Yeah, it's hard to be funny when everybody's yelling at each other about politics or some other thing. It's kind of like if you were a comedian standing on a stage and that people in the audience were just allowed to yell whatever they want and nobody stopped them all the time. It's hard to be funny when people are just angry. They say it's a cat too, last time I checked, but I don't think the category matters. That sometimes it's almost like they want to confuse people. I mean, it's a giant monster storm. It's a Quetzalcoatl. Well, great. Thanks for putting the ad right over the information. Right now they say it's 100, but this thing hasn't been updated for 2.5 hours, which that's another thing. Man, like the way our official agencies, and it's not their fault, are run, but like you should be updating every hour. If I can do it on 5 nickels, you guys can do it with your $1 billion budgets, bro. There's zero chance of this thing fizzling out. I mean, there's a chance it could die to a tropical storm, but the storm surge, the rain bands, there's no way. So like, if people are going to talk about winds, that look at this rain band that's approaching. I mean, it's not even fully on, and this thing is going to sit over land for 4 to 5 days. And so this is one of the biggest, tightest rain bands I can remember seeing since I've been doing this. So I would say what makes different categories aside from the speed. That's it. Speed denotes the category. And everything else is based off that. And so most meteorologists correctly are like, you know what? The system sucks. We should have a hurricane danger scale, not wind speed. So yeah, it's down to category 3 or 2 now, which is the basement of 3. But look at its wind field. It's still 100-mile-per-hour winds. And they've been talking about, as it's been moving across the ocean, it's been pushing its giant waves ahead of it. So it's got a giant lump of water ahead of it that it is going to push onto land. And so, where did I go with my GFS? Why did you leave me GFS? All right. Oh, I'm calm. Somebody even accused me of sounding sane. I was offended. Yeah, that's why. Okay, now, this is the GFS. Well, if you're from Wilmington checking in, the storm has grown twice. I mean, to me, it's grown about twice the size it was at about midnight. And then, which puts more of the northeast, the north part in play. And look at this rain band coming in. Where did you say you're at? You're at Wilmington? No way, bro. What? Okay. You still got time to go west. Wilmington, Garlic. Categories don't determine damage, they determine wind speed. And that's one of the things I've tried to do with THORNEWS is determine damage to infrastructure, property, and deaths. You know, when a meteorologist gets a little too cocky, I say, how many people do you think will die in the storm? And they accuse me of hyping shit up. And they're like, oh, I don't do that. I don't predict how many people will die. Like, yeah, well, I do. So shut the fuck up. Sorry that I used that word. You know, so I'm trying to. That's why anytime we lose anyone as a planetary defense commander, I've done a shitty job. So we're going to lose people in this storm. And I hope not you. I'm not trying to scare you, Wilmington, but if you are really here, you still got time to drive west, bro. And nobody can verify. Okay, but I've heard, I've seen the worst storm surge estimate I've seen has been 40 feet. If that is, Katrina was 26 feet, and Katrina was a Category 3 hurricane, I believe. So, if the storm surge is higher than your house and it's coming in fast, that it floats cars and moves property, this is all right. Garlic monoxide, we will party in 2 days or in a week, depending on when your power is at. That's another reason I recommend people evacuate. You might not have died, got hurt, but do you want to be somewhere that you might not have power for a week? And as a semi-poor person, well, I'm poor. As a poor person, I understand people who can't afford to evacuate. But if you're going to hang in there like Lieutenant Dan, then I support you. North might be a better option. You're correct. Okay, what I was trying to show, I think as far as initial landfall, Georgia is okay. But depending on where this monster storm goes and how it stalls, it's like a wild card super villain. Okay? And so the rain bands it's showing us are major with the ability to drop 40 to 50 inches of rain. And so I'm believing that, remember how I've been saying, I think it's going to hit, and I've been saying it the whole time, I think it's going to hit and then it's going to curve up like that. And the models didn't agree with me, and they always took it south and then had it evolve, but now the models are showing it hits and then it curves up. But it still plans to stay in South Carolina and North Carolina enough to do damage. I think if these models are correct, Georgia's biggest problems are going to be with river flooding and like the downflow of the water. But your cousin is stationed in North Carolina Marines, then I will say a prayer for him, but he's a Marine. So I definitely expect my Marines to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's one people in any situation I need to survive, it's they're special crews, and I want my Marines and the SEALs to survive. Almost any situation they're put in, although I never want to put them in danger. Upstate, well, I definitely think the effects on the entire eastern seaboard almost are going to be worse than we had or people had predicted. But look George, like I said, on this one, and I don't think anybody knows where this is going. And I think most meteorologists have been good about, hey, you're welcome. Most people have been good about conveying that nobody can nail this thing down. And anyone who's trying to tell you they know exactly where it's going to go, talking out their ass. A lot of people talk out their ass these days. So I try to say, I don't know a lot. I take a lot of guesses, and I complain about I don't get cuddling too much, but there's a whole lot of variables and a whole lot of things right now. And so, wow, and this, I want to thank garlic monoxide for keeping me connected, because knowing that I got a Asteroid Fight Club sitting right there in Wilmington, man, even though you're lieutenanting it. And like I said, I don't know if I mentioned the other night, like 10, 12 days ago. I guess I shouldn't say that. Technically, that would be. So I drove around for a while, like, man, I don't want to be on planet Earth anymore. The other night, wait. And so I was like, yeah, I don't want to be on Earth anymore. All people do is whine and complain. I'm never going to get to cuddle again. I can't stand this place. I've lost 2 dads. Batman didn't even lose 2 dads, man. So I've just been down. What was it? Oh, I bought my tire. So I drove around. Okay, this is probably fictional. It's probably fictional, but I drove around on this tire for 3 hours at 107 miles an hour. Daring the universe, well, trying to see if I could leave the planet. It didn't happen. Like, I got saved by miracles. I was like, dang it, I'm trying to get off this planet. Was my whole point. Oh, yeah, the people who are Lieutenant Danning this. Yeah, Asteroid Fight Club member right here. So I understand, like, if we don't make this place better, a lot of people are going to want to leave. Okay, if you're joining us now, the storm has grown twice in size. We have PewDiePie's clone, which is cool. PewDiePie seems like a cool guy. I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He's too handsome. He'd steal all the women. And he's funny. Damn. But yeah, so it's grown twice in size. It's now category 2 with 110 mile per hour wind speed, so they haven't updated it with the hurricane hunters yet. It's got the dragon head at the top, which is our THORNEWS mystical symbol of, yeah, this thing is a monster. It looks like it's headed somewhere towards North Carolina, but she's been so weird. Yeah, no, I mean, garlic, don't put yourself in any more danger. As far as, like, if you want to get great footage, that is fantastic, but don't risk it. The subtitles are off the hook. I will now try and speak less clearly so the subtitles have more fun. I just woke up. I woke up at midnight because I'm on graveyard shift for you people. But yeah, and what is the eye wall even doing? You guys are cool. Okay, so but the other point was this rain band right here is nasty. I mean, look at the thing. It's not even fully on the radar. And that thing is going to sit over specific areas for an extended period of time. I mean, like, look at this. Okay, let's go over this real quick. So it has it hitting around, like, very end of the night Thursday. And then Thursday, and then so it hits Friday. It moves in on Friday. Saturday, it's still a tightly wound rain-dropping monster. It's still a super big rain-dropping monster. And Sunday, now it lessens a little, and then it fires kind of back up again, and then heads north. And I think that could come out south, and we could actually see. No, thank you, Valerie. Here's going to be one of my crazy things, man. One of the crazy things that I say. We could actually see it pop back out into the cove and reform and then carry off. I don't think it would reform and then hit the coast again, but a lot of the models had it popping back out here and then catching up with the front. So I am glad that I think Arizona might be seeing more monsoon activity in the future. Oh, did you guys also know Popocatépetl, the volcano that's in Mexico, that's been going off all week in 2-hour bursts? So that volcano's what, here? And so I think that affects everything also. That Mother Earth is a large dynamic process. Kind of like our bodies are. Mother Earth is much the same. And so, wow, yeah, we're going to be on this all day, huh? At least you finally cut your grass. Congratulations. And thank you for appreciating me. I appreciate being appreciated. Oh, somebody said Wheaties? Oh, and I appreciate you guys for being here. The world needs more smart people who pay attention. I think we're coming around. There's been a lot of rain everywhere. Oh, and if anybody's from Texas, watch that thing in the Gulf. On my pulse theory, it pulsed very large and then it dies down. But if it moves in again, it will repulse about here. I don't think it'll be a hurricane, but I think it's going to bring a whole lot of rain. Yeah, this is amazing. I would, for those of us who are weather obsessed, there are days where you just can't look away from a storm. It's almost like, you know, it's like Selena Gomez. How do you look away? Hello, Cristiano. It didn't get weed eating done well. Well, that's all about the THC chef. You know, sometimes if you miscook the marijuana, it tastes horrible. Oh, you mean like edging the grass? I'm good at edging. It's another reason that one day I would make a great husband or dad, because I like mowing the lawn and edging. Pulling the weeds in is fun. Because my mom had this thing where she liked to buy plants that had thorns and needles and just whatever. You know, she liked to buy plants that when you go to pull weeds around them, it hurts. It's made my hands tough. But so I don't like pulling weeds, but I like mowing lawns and I like edging. Yeah, how do you do? All right, I just wake up. I just trusted you. And if there is any request I have from people, is this storm is big and it's dangerous and it is in action. And we are about less than 24 hours from landfall. So this is the subject. Any information we can give people, like our friends garlic monoxide, if they want to decide to try and go west or north, or just how anybody's dealing with it or preparing for it. THORNEWS, I'm here for the people in the storm. And for today, I'm not here. They're priority number one. So I don't really want to discuss anything that isn't good natured off the topic. You know, I hate thorny weeds too. So I'm not saying everybody has to stay on topic. I'm saying I don't want it to go negative, or I don't want to put people in fear or take them, if it's not going to help with preparations today, or even people who aren't there to watch what is happening. We can talk about all the other things after. Hey, thank you, Sharon. I don't think it's going to fall apart at all. And I mean, I think it could. Um, I mean, as a like, I don't like, and I'm also not worried about meteorological or scientific definitions right now. What we are monitoring is its danger potential and how dangerous it will be. What speed it will make landfall at, wind speed, I don't know. But if you were watching it, it has grown for almost twice in size since midnight. It is now adding a wave and storm surge component up through New Jersey, almost even New York City. Like, this is definitely going to make bigger waves for the Cove part, the New England Cove part, than it was scheduled to. And it's very important that nobody has any idea where this thing is going. All we know is that, let's get back to the rain. See this rain band? Like, this rain, I think when this rain band donut comes in, it's going to be as wide as North Carolina. And this rain band donut is scheduled to be there for 4 to 5 days over land. So you're talking about a Hurricane Harvey over the East Coast. And why haven't they updated this shit yet? I'm gonna try not to cuss, but I haven't. Where are we going here? This is why the last one we got from them, Hurricane Florence. What do we got? This still has 110-mile-per-hour wind speeds, central pressure at 95.6. I think, when the sunlight hits it, I think it's going to make it. When the sunlight hits everything, I definitely think we could see a burst in activity or intensification. Take that as what you may. But, when the sun, we're definitely going to have one more sun cycle to where you have one more sunrise to sunfall between now and the end of the hurricane hitting wherever it hits. I would guess North Carolina right now. And so, but the SDL cameras have been freaking out and doing God knows what all week. And that's always a sign that you take your rear weather up a notch. And that's a coronal hole, man. So there's solar wind coming out of here, there. We're just getting inundated with charged particles. It's expected to hit, the eye wall is expected to cross over land right around midnight. Do I think this is natural, beast, or enhanced? I would, my honestly guess is that it's, like I said, with the sun and everything going on, I think it's natural. If anything, they are trying to play whack-a-mole because, it doesn't make any sense. Like these two things, like Mang and the Hut, this has over 200-mile-per-hour winds right now. And so I don't, like, who benefits from having a massive, and these pressure systems, these almost look more like planets. It isn't as cool. It didn't show it as well as it did the other day, but these look like little planets that are rotating around the bigger planets, and somehow that affects. So that is my wild theory, or idea that we're watching. And so I think it's all planetary. The sun matters, the moon matters, the stars matter, the planets matter. Man is just man. I mean, I was talking about if I want to be humbled, I go sit in the middle of the ocean. I definitely do not feel some all powerful badass out in a tiny boat in the middle of an ocean, And if there's one thing we can all agree on, I hope, it's that mankind has been abusing Mother Nature for the last 100 years in the industrial age. All the dead animals that have been dying from our carelessness and greed, it's sad. And that, I would like to think that if they do have the technology to manipulate stuff, that but there's always a 5% chance that, yeah, sure, it's weather warfare because the CIA came out and said weather warfare is real. But it just, I don't know, the volcanoes make me think that they ain't controlling shit, man. The earthquake situations make me thinking they ain't controlling shit, man. I mean, and the fact that a lot of this looks like the Quetzalcoatl, from all the Aztec or Mayan or all the ancient cultures that used to talk about like the weather gods. The fact that the storms look like what they talk about today, that, I don't know, it all seems like part of a process that has continued for a long time. And I think it's planetary. And I think it has to do with our solar system. I know that a lot of people I've talked to, especially the scientists, they talk about solar medium. And if you want to get into crazy shit about space, like space is more like an aquarium. So the outer space, it has a lot of dust, it has a lot of junk, it has a lot of gases. And so we're traveling through a part of our solar or our galaxy that has a lot more trash in it, a lot more dust. So that's one of the reasons we're seeing a lot more rain. And it seems like we're seeing more comets. Yeah, it like tripled in size. And that's why this, when everybody went to bed, and it's always interesting to watch the media cycles because when everybody went to bed, they're like, "Oh, meteorologists hyped this thing up," and then I was like, "What?" And then the thing just started to grow like a penis. Sorry, can't think of anything other than it starts small and then grows big and then goes small again. Um, so yeah, it is. I mean, remember we are watching multiple systems interact, so it's supposed to stall out and then get carried away by this front. And then we had the Gulf of Mexico pulse up. Yeah, this thing is huge and massive. And so garlic monoxide is an asteroid fight club member we got that is in Wilmington. So he is literally in the very worst spot it could be for this. Diddy Cosmo is probably one of those dudes who's dating one of my ex-girlfriends who's just mad. There are a lot of those people. Tell you what, nothing gets me in more trouble than women. But damn, they sure are so cute. And women are soft and women are smooth. Women smell good. Oh man. Yeah, the pollution on our planet, the trash in the oceans, it's getting to ridiculous levels. That's why I recommend humanity uniting and working together to clean the oceans, the lakes, and the rivers. That would be a good idea. I also recommend building brand new super cities from scratch in very safe places. That would be great. But the future scares people. People like, hell no, we don't want things to improve. Wow, look at that pulse off. Is that Tampa or Miami? Tampa. Yeah, this thing is a monster. Lightly raining here in North Carolina. Okay, let me show you the main thing we were watching. Where do I put it? I gotta file this. That is our rain band. So this thing is just now coming in. That when that thing hits, it begins. So I'm not counting on rainfall. I'm counting on when does this thing hit? 3:15. So it's an hour and a half. Should I go get donuts? It's gonna be a long day. Shipley's in Texas is amazing. I actually go for kolaches. Yeah, the Gulf has a lot of rain as well. So it is 5 a.m. East Coast time. When are we guessing? I would guess the rain bands will probably start to really affect Carolina in, let's say, what, 2 hours? Yeah, you already got snow and Alberta all over the place. It's a story of fire and ice. This is Game of Thrones in real life. And in the final season, Thor shows up. So it becomes a story of fire, ice, and lightning, electricity. Doom. Yeah, everybody's getting hit in this. The Space Cow has cake. You are lucky. See, I don't fear the cake. But look at these. So we got an Asteroid Fight Club member here in Wilmington. So that's exciting. He's going to be Lieutenant Danning this for us. I'm super concerned about the storm surge. Crop losses have been amazing across the world. I'm surprised we haven't seen more food inflation. I do love this too. That's why people get obsessed with politics. I'm like, politics is so boring compared to nature. Like, compared to weather, you know? Oh, speaking of that, this year, I'd like my luck to turn around because, being planetary defense commander, I don't get any perks really. Well, not like monetary perks. I want to go snow skiing. One of my very favorite things in the world. is to take 3 chairlifts to the very top of the mountain and then ski all the way down. When you stand on top of a mountain and look at all the mountains around you, the whole world looks like a giant painting. Mother Nature's amazing. Although, have you ever been on the top of the mountain when a blizzard hits? Holy crap. Never fear the comfort of cake. I've heard space cake is good. I've never tried it. Nature is a beautiful bitch for sure. Dang it. Hey, it's nice to be caught, Sherry. I was just talking about. I need a female to catch me because females smell good, they're soft, they're smooth. And if you hold them like a teddy bear, you sleep better. Unless, yeah, just get your tongue stuck on a ski lift. No, I ain't. I've done that before where you put your tongue on something frozen, and that's stupid. I ain't never doing that again. Like a cat on a hot tin roof, or like a kid who puts his tongue on something frozen. That hurts. Mountains all around me. Lucky you. When I lived 45 miles outside of Silicon Valley, it was under a mountain range. They're California mountains that were neat. They had a bunch of top secret shit going on out there. Summertime, I thought half it was a hologram. No matter what, I would like everyone to work together so at least we can keep civilization standing to see the final season of Game of Thrones. Also, I'd like to see Avengers 4 because the last one left on kind of a down note. You know? Tired of down notes. We've had down notes since 9/11. Like 17 years of down notes. How about some up notes? Let's have some fun. Anybody else want to have fun? So yeah, if you were in North Carolina or anywhere and you were checking in on this is doubled in size pretty much. It is now a threat to the northeast with more storm surge and wave heights, I believe. And then Vermont, I want to visit the northeast one. But I mean, I'm guessing it's THORNEWS. I don't think the main rain stuff and the good footage, quote unquote, we will see will happen for another 2 hours when this rain ban hits. I mean, I don't know if this update's on. But look at that thing. Does that make you? That thing is so huge. Oh, God, that's why I wish we had a. Let's try and imagine that. So that puts the rain band about here, right? So this is a lot of rain. God is stronger than the king. Jupiter is stronger than I am. The sun is most definitely stronger than I am. Oh, somebody did the Ote symbol. Yeah, that sounds good, flipping south. Although I got to save up money because hamburgers on top of the mountain are like $50. You get a little hamburger. It's like hamburger and a Coke. It's like $75. Yeah. But yeah, on a chairlift. If you guys ever made out in a chairlift, that is fun. And you can put the top down so you can even get to second base if you want. Yeah, we're going to have a good November. We're going to have a good Thanksgiving. And we're going to have a good Christmas. And we're going to have a good New Year. I command it. All right, so everybody get prepared. It's going to be a little rough till then. Hopefully it'll calm down by Halloween. You hear what I say, Vanilla Gorilla? Yeah, okay then. That's the universe telling me. If a Vanilla Gorilla is talking about Wendy, then we're going to run. I'm going to be nerdy and run through the 3 different model runs on the. Let's start with NAM. Because NAM. Okay, so this is the NAM, and we're going to run down. Remember, if you were in the pink side of the lifesaver, that is bad, man. That is definitely bad. Somebody said chocolate milk. We should have a contest. I bet I can drink chocolate milk faster than any of y'all. Yes, the storm has been identified as female. It's Florence. So look at that. We are now in Saturday, and the NAM only goes to Saturday. But if you look at, so you're talking about an area that can drop over 20 inches of rain in a single day that will sit there for 4 days. This has what is that rain bank going down like that? Look at this, look at down in South Texas. The NAM is saying doom, man. The NAM is saying doom in South Texas and doom in North Carolina and South Carolina. Now we're going to go over to the European, because people like to think the European is king of the models, but I think all the models are pretty whack right now. But I want you guys to watch this. Storm ain't going to be bad. Well, we totally disagree, man, and you're more than welcome to make videos discussing your. I don't mind you saying it's not going to be bad. I just totally disagree, and I think anyone. Wait, now we're going to mess up the model, because you are looking at that thing going, hey, dude, I don't think that's going to be bad. But as meteorologists were pointing out earlier this morning, on its trek from Africa to here, it has pushed a giant swell of water in front of it. And so this storm, regardless of wind speed, is going to cause probably over 10 to 20 feet of storm surge. And then you're going to get 50 to 60 inches of rain. So if you look at a storm that has over 10 feet of storm surge and over 60 inches of rain, and you don't think it's going to be that bad, you sound like my ex-girlfriends. Yeah, I went there. And so we have an asteroid fight clubber who is in Wilmington. Lieutenant Danning is for us. I'm going to send us some video, but this is going to be a really bad, this is going to be a historic storm. And this is only the first one, man. Remember I've been saying, well, yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat for sure. Remember I've been saying for 10 months, we're going to get, the East Coast is going to get hit by a hurricane this year. And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to be wrong, I mean, I don't mind being wrong at all, that this ain't the last one. So let's go back to windy. Because, yeah, okay, so you can say the storm isn't going to be that bad, and I'm going to go ahead and say that it's going to be bad. Well, thank you, Queen of Consciousness, as we all celebrate in this consciousness together, collectively. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Yeah, it's going to be bad. So that is the official THORNEWS stance. Thank you, QC. You're cute. It's going to be bad. The storm surge is going to be bad. The rain is going to be bad. The only variable that has a chance to go down is wind speed. And I'd like to point out that the sun should be hitting it any minute now. And that when the sun hits it and the water, it's going to heat things up. So you're going to have more opportunity for weirdness. And then you got another giant coronal hole hitting us. And so we're just getting hit by nonstop wind speed. I mean, nonstop solar wind. I mean, and our magnetic field, look at that, is weak AF, RN. And I keep hitting this home, but we've gone like 4 months with an aurora. I haven't remembered a time when the aurora's not been there. So this, you got that there. Tropical storm Olivia has moved to Hawaii, though not as bad. But once the sun comes back over this thing in a couple of hours, it's definitely going to be bad, I think. And then we're watching the Gulf. See, look at it. No, I don't want to say that, frankly. What are you doing? Dang touch screen. So look at the Gulf. It pulses up and then it pulses down. But when this comes to South Texas, it's going to cause some major flooding. Where is Camp Lejeune? And so, and I definitely don't think the East Coast is prepared for the storm surge and waves that might get. And then as I'm trying to go through on the windy, notice how she sits and spins for a bit? You're welcome, Hellcat, and thank you for being soft. And one thing I've been saying is that I don't think it's even good to compare this to other storms, at least yet. Who knows what it's going to do? And this is going to hook up with this front. And that is probably going to be the thing that carries it back out to sea. But this thing has definitely grown in size. It'll be interesting to see what all the meteorologists are saying when I wake up in an hour. That's what I'm here for, Mark. I'm here to help everybody else. Because when I wrote the screenplay of American Bicycle Club, the main premise of it was that you can't be free until everybody's free. So if I'm going to have a good time, that means everybody's got to have a good time. So we got to calm down, work together, and solve these problems. Although it's going to take a while for people to wake up. What are you going to do with that $20? Steelers, Saints, and Cardinals? I mean, man, hopefully not spend it on sports. They rig elections and they rig games, man. Remember when that report came out that said they'd been massively rigging NBA games for 30 years through the referees? It came out for like 2 minutes and nobody really picked up on it. Shots. Yeah, but you can't have an online hurricane party. That has to be in person. I've always wondered if I did a THORNEWS live hangout, where would I do it at? But this thing is just wild. And watch how the rain is popping up everywhere. Let's take our chances with Twitter. All right. All right, we're going to take our chances with Twitter. See what happens. It is a Cat 2 right now, last time I heard, but it has grown twice. Did your news channel say that it has grown twice in size? Because it has. It is now more of a threat, and I would say it's definitely more of a brain threat now than it ever was. Yeah, so it's about 110 miles per hour, but it still has a chance for major storm surge and over, I would say, 40 to 60 inches of rain when this thing is said and done. And it has grown in size. Let us watch it grow in size again together. Anyway, so this thing is still majorly dangerous. Yeah, unfortunately, I stopped watching sports when I started a YouTube channel. I played football from 4th grade to my freshman year. And I realized how much energy people put into sports. They put a lot of energy into sports, and I used to too. But if you think about it, they just reset everything every year. And so it starts all over again. It's kind of like why I liked World of Warcraft compared to Halo. I like having a character that builds stuff, as opposed to just a character that gets reset every game. It's not a game when you die. I mean, technically it is, and it just means you lost, or your game is over. People get real offended when I refer to dangerous stuff as a game. But people get real offended all the time. Yeah, life is like a game, dude. There are losers, and then there are sometimes when it's over. How wide is Florence now? I don't know. I would like something someday that lets me measure stuff, because I can only even guess, but it definitely is wider than North Carolina itself. You know? I mean, this thing is majorly dangerous. And I gotta start. What did I do with my rain bands, man? There it is. Look at this rain band, dude. Like when that thing gets on the map, Alex Jensen big but so weak. But the swell in front of it is going to be large. So you're still going to get over 10 feet of storm surge that moves far inland. You're still going to get 40 to 60 inches of rain. So is 60 inches of rain isn't weak. You know, I mean, the water pressure you're going to get from all this isn't weak. And you have to remember that it's good at river flooding levels. Anyone who, like, and sometimes people don't think about the big picture. And remember, this is just one hurricane, man. How many hurricanes are in the ocean right now? 6? I mean, not, I mean, how many cyclonic systems are there? All right, now there are 76 rivers flooding. And then let's go over to here. Oh, no, let's go to the other one. Simplifies it for you. So you're like, man, this storm is weak. You'd be like, well, it's the first one, bro. You know, like, look at that. Remember, the flip just switched on this week a couple days ago. And this is the exact situation I've been predicting for 10 months. I've been saying, hey, you're going to wake up and your ocean's going to look like this. So even if this only does major damage to the East Coast, some areas, you've still got more storms coming. So anyone is allowed to have their opinion on this, but it is my interpretation that this storm is going to be a major disaster. The storm could be one of the worst disasters in American history. And not planning for it or properly prepared. And as most of the truth community has gone on their way to point out, it is going to flood out a bunch of nuclear power plants. So we may have our own Fukushima on our hands. And so when this rain band sits in, let's watch the wind thing windy again. Let me do this. I'm not going to get off course, even though I'm going to let it run. But I'm just going to, no matter what, I'm going to let this thing run. And I want everybody to watch it. Whoa. Right? So makes landfall Thursday night. And where the pink part of the lifesaver is, that's over 20 inches of rain, 40 inches of rain. And so watch how it's now Friday, and you've had heavy, heavy rainfall all along North Carolina coast, all along on this model, it has South Carolina. And so then it moves in, still almost as powerful, still dropping 20, 30 inches of rain on a Sunday. And then this storm slowly moves up, dropping over 10 inches of rain in some spots. Reforms, regains some rainfall strength. Right there is, 10, 20 inches in a day. As it moves north up Virginia, over Washington, Pennsylvania, and then it will re-strengthen and the front will carry it out as it literally kicks the entire East Coast in the balls with rain. And it's a week. It's still going. Nova Scotia, look at that. And then it leaves a week later. So this is a storm that's going to last a week, and you're calling it weak? Well, then I guess that makes sense. It is a weak storm, meaning W-E-E-K. So we totally agree on that, bro. High five over the internet. All right, so now let's watch the GFS. That was a Euro. Man, I'm having fun. Yeah, the nuclear power plants worry me. Yeah, but DB, your anger is hilarious. Anyone who blames large groups is goofy. And they're only mad, they're projecting their own disappointment within themselves. For let the man without sin cast the first stone. And all y'all are sinners, just like me. We all make mistakes. And I think people like to blame people because if they thought they had to take responsibility for everything also as a team, then they'd have to work. And I guess a lot of people are just lazy. People are like, hell no, I don't want to work. Hell no. All right, so now we're getting a bunch of political comments, so I'm ending my stream, and then I will retake it up in a half hour because it's about the hurricane. I love you guys. You guys are cool. Kick ass. Stay cool.